everybody. We are back again to talk a little NFL football now. We are already into week three of the NFL football. But before we talk about our week coming up, we have to do what?
To recap week 2.
We got to recap week 2. We got to talk about what happened, and man,
a lot of stuff.
A lot of crap happened in week 2, didn't it? I mean,
oh my god,
you're starting to see some of the storylines for the year now. Who is really looking good? Who is not looking very good?
And who
outright stinks?
And who decided to implode? We'll find out.
We'll find out. We've got some dumpster fire material coming up this week, too.
Really bad dumpster fire.
Let's go ahead and jump into the recap of week 2. Thursday night game was a thumbdinger. We got the Chiefs and the Chargers at the Chiefs. That was a pretty good game.
The one worry is about Justin Herbert's health now because they beat the crap out of him in the pocket.
Yeah. The Chiefs defense and the Chargers defense, both of them were pretty good. I mean, the score was 27-24.
And then the Chiefs' pick 6 was the defining factor.
Yeah, the Chargers defense held Mahomes down. I mean, really. But then the Chiefs defense beat the crap out of Herbert. I mean, I think they actually cracked a rib or bruised a rib or
I mean, that's why you need to protect your quarterback. You need to protect your QB.
But that was a really fun, exciting game to watch, though. We'll go ahead and jump into our Sunday games. Panthers at the Giants.
Oh boy, rest in peace to the Baker Mayfield hype.
Rest in peace to the Baker Mayfield hype. Yeah.
Man, I mean, you lost to the Giants. The Giants have been one of the worst teams in football for the past several years.
Hey, the Giants are 2-0 now.
But they could be changing and turning a corner with new coach Brian Dable.
Could be, yeah.
Do you think I'll give the props to the Giants whenever I can when they win.
Again, just like against the Browns, the Panthers didn't look bad. They just couldn't nail it down at the end. They just couldn't finish it. Yeah.
Lost again to a long field goal. Second straight week that we've lost to a long field goal.
Yeah. We had the Jets at the Browns. This is one of the craziest games I think I have ever seen.
I will talk about our stinker candidate is in this game. I will save that for another time. But let's just say that was a collapse.
Yes, the Browns were up 30-17 with 1 minute and 55 seconds left.
And lost. That's just, well, the good thing for the Jets, the Jets getting a win for the first time in September in a long time.
And honestly, it's a little crushing for the Browns, but it's really the Browns look good. I mean, they scored 30 points.
The offense looks fine. Mm-hmm. I mean, that's a positive you can look.
I mean, that is a positive. They didn't just.
I mean, this division's still up for grabs right now.
Big time. That division is really up for grabs right now. 1-1 is leading the division, so they're actually tied for the lead in the division. So that's the head-to-head matchups are going to determine that division this year. We had the Washington Commanders. I still can't get used to saying that. At the Detroit Lions. Go Detroit!
The Lions showing their peskiness once again by knocking off Carson Wentz and the Commanders.
Yeah, we can't say Carson Wentz because he didn't get the W this week.
Because he has a loss now.
He threw a couple ints in that
classic
in that game. Classic, yeah. We had the Bucks at the Saints. It was a really close game until the brawl.
Until that brawl that happened and decided to say, and here comes the vampire.
Brady got pissed off
and threw a touchdown.
And threw a touchdown pass. So yeah, that is Brady's first regular season win
against the Saints.
Against the Saints as a Buck. He was 0-4 before that. So.
I mean, the Saints have been a problem, a thorn on his side.
Yeah. The Bucks, again, they didn't look fantastic, but they never do really early. We'll have to wait till the second half of the season to see if they're going to be in the Super Bowl.
Besides, they have Todd Bowles.
Yes.
So you never know how he's going to coach.
He doesn't have a good track record, let's just say that. We had the Patriots at the Steelers, and I picked the Patriots on this one. I sort of knew that this was going to happen. I didn't see the Patriots going 0-2, and I didn't see the Steelers going 2-0.
Somehow, some way, that disjointed, discombobulated coordinator room decided to Well, the offense.
All of the defensive coaches that's on that team, because there's no offensive coaches on the Patriots team. I don't know if you know that.
That's Belichick.
There is zero offensive minds in that room now.
I mean, Joe Judge and Matt Patricia. Those are your offense.
And then Bill Belichick.
And then Bill Belichick.
There is no offensive minds on that team. So
there is none. So they just decided to put a bunch of defensive guys on the offense.
Hey, but they won 17-14.
They won, though, so that's a good thing.
My goodness, the Colts at the Jaguars.
Talk about some disaster sauce.
What? I thought, personally, we thought,
the Colts
a lot of people thought the Colts would probably win that division.
How did it sink to this level of ineptitude?
You've got a great running system. You've got the number one running back in the league, but you bring in Matt Ryan
who's seasoned
and switch to a passing game.
And he threw 3 interceptions against the Jaguars.
And the best running back got 54 yards rushing.
Only like 20 carries or something. I was like, what the crap is wrong with the Colts?
How'd you go from running for 150, 60 yards a game last year to running to 50 this year? The team didn't change that much.
No.
That's the coaching, man. Something is wrong. Something is rotten in Denmark there. They thought they could come in and be the passing team and pass first and
Well, Matt Ryan was supposed to be the guy who works off of Jonathan Taylor, and I just can't explain how bad Indianapolis has looked so far this year.
I can. They got rid of Carson Wentz, and right now,
Carson Wentz is playing better.
His numbers at Indianapolis are better than Matt Ryan's through the first 2 games.
How is that possible? How does Carson Wentz look better in Indianapolis than Matt Ryan?
I don't know, but it is right now. Carson Wentz was a better quarterback in the Indy last year than Matt Ryan is right now.
I mean, the Colts are just an absolute stink bomb.
If they don't turn it around soon, it's going to get UGLY's going to get ugly. And ugly. I mean,
fans are going to boo them off the field. Yeah. Everyone's going to clean house. I mean, something has to be done about this disaster.
Yeah, we had the Dolphins at the Ravens. Hallelujah, what a game. 6 touchdown passes by the Dolphins.
We're going to have to drag out the old choke meter because, man,
the Ravens pulled a falcon, man.
Oh, my
Up 20 points in the fourth quarter. And
that is as pure a choke as you're going to ever see.
Literally up 20 points and you lose.
That is pure from concentrate choking. Pure from concentrate.
I think it's sort of like the Browns did. You're up 20 points late in the game, and you go,
and then
it's over. You relax, and the other team scores 30 points, and you lose. You can't. I mean, the NFL's NFL. You can't relax on anybody. You got to keep your foot on their neck constant. You got to choke them until the last second goes off the clock.
Well, you got the word choke right.
Yeah, they did choke. My goodness.
But they were up by that much, and their defense played awful.
Gave up 6 touchdown passes throughout the game.
Awful. Awful in the fourth quarter, dude.
Falcons, Rams. The Falcons almost broke the curse on this one.
They were down 28-3.
The Rams were up 28-3 at halftime.
They almost blew it.
31-27. The Falcons came back. The Falcons came back, but they threw a pick late, so they
just short. But short. That's progress, though. Progress.
I was rooting so much for the Falcons to come back and do that. That would have been such a great story.
That would have been such a great story and great irony.
It would have, yeah.
The Rams were up 28-3 and almost blew it.
We had the Seahawks at the 49ers.
Trey Lance.
Prayers for Trey Lance. He broke his leg. And there's some knee damage in there. He got hit early.
That's very unfortunate what happened to him. He was supposed to be the future.
Kudos for Garoppolo for hanging around. Now he is back to being the starter.
And he won the game for the Niners.
And he won 27-7 over the Seattle Seahawks. So I didn't think that they should have switched away from Garoppolo to begin with. Trey Lance could be fantastic. But Garoppolo had just took you to the Super Bowl, took you to the NFC Championship game
last year.
The year before. I mean, what's a man got to do to get a little over in here? What's it good to do? Anyways, they look good. We had the Bengals at the Cowboys. That was my surprise of the week. I thought the Cowboys were going to get the doors beat off of them.
Speaking of a disaster, that Bengals offensive line.
This is a good one. Last year, Cincinnati gave up 56 sacks, which was the most in the NFL. So they spent the offseason rebuilding their offensive line to make that better. And right now, through 2 games, you want to know how many how many sacks they're scheduled to make throughout the year? I mean, give up throughout the year?
Dear Lord.
111.
Oh, my gosh. Please make the suffering end.
You give up 56 sacks one year, you retool the offense, you're in line to give up 111.
And you're in the crapper this year.
You're the
please protect Burrow, please.
The Super Bowl team is 0-2.
When you have the crappiest offensive line in football,
man, it sort of looked like there's a couple offensive lines out there this year that are really, really bad. We had the Texans at the Broncos. Broncos snuck it through 16-9.
Nathaniel Hackett's time clock management strikes again.
I mean, he's not very good, is he?
He's not. The fans had to count down 10, 9, 8, 7, etc. to make sure they even got the snap off right.
Mm-hmm. They were late getting everything done, yeah. But a W, 16-9.
Yep.
We had the Cardinals at the Raiders. I would have not have picked this one either. The Raiders were up
20-0.
20-0 and
Time
lost.
to bring out the choke meter, Dad. How do you judge this one?
That's a good 9+ right there too. I mean, if you're got a 20-point lead, you should beat a team.
Yes.
Well, one thing you shouldn't do is rush 2 people at Kyler Murray
and have him run around for a century.
Is 4 or 5 offensive linemen and 2 rushers going to catch Kyler Murray?
No.
He could have ran around back there for 3 or 4 minutes.
Which is how long he did.
And they still would have never have got him.
He could have ran around forever.
He is going to outrun 2 slow defensive linemen. He's going to outrun them. So he could have just kept running. You go move over there. You move over there. And finally he just ran him. He's ready to do the end zone himself.
Yeah,
That is a defensive coordinator's fault. You can't rush 2 people at Kyler Murray. You got to get the ball out of his hands quick. Make him make a decision. Don't give him time to figure it out. He can just run.
It's like throwing 3 people at Peyton Manning. It's like it's going to be a disaster.
Yeah. Let's rush 2 at Tom Brady.
Yeah, that's gonna work. That's gonna work.
Yeah, that's gonna work. You can't rush 2 at any good quarterback. You got to get the ball out of their hands quick. Make them make a decision quick, and especially Kyler Murray.
Because he's a little erratic.
He's known to make a bad decision if you rush him a little bit. So,
yep.
But hey, the Raiders are now the worst in the division at 0-2.
They got a hill to climb.
We had the Bears at the Packers. Old man Aaron, he owns the Bears. It doesn't matter how bad the Packers look. They're going to beat the Bears. They're going to beat the Bears. That's just the way it is.
I just wondered if Chicago actually turned a corner this year, and I'm just wondering maybe I should wait another few years.
Honestly, you don't know. They are so bad against the Packers
that it's almost laughable.
That they may be a good team, and they just suck against the Packers because they suck against the Packers. That's
how it is.
That's just how it is. It's really hard to tell that one. All right, that is our teams up until Monday Night Football, but we had a couple should have been good games. We had the Titans at the Bills, 41-7.
That was a face plant if I've ever seen a game like that.
How could you be in the AFC Championship game 2 years ago and then lose 41-7? That's because you gave Tannehill a $200 million contract and you lost all your other good players. No Tano Smith, no A.J. Brown. There was defensive people. I don't remember.
Jonnu Smith, and then you lost your best linebacker to injury, which is not their fault.
No, but there was good defensive lineman too. That was what he playing on the other side of the field tonight.
Yep.
Or last night. So they gave up a lot of players to keep a mediocre player. Kirk Cousins part deux.
And who's your offensive coordinator?
What's his name?
It starts with a T.
Yeah, Todd
Downing.
He's not very good.
I
want to start me a team with Todd Downing as my offensive coordinator and Bowles as my defensive coordinator. I see how bad you could possibly be. Anyways, that is our last. Well, no, we had the Vikings at the Eagles. Now the Eagles did it for real, 24-7.
And Kirk Cousins threw 3 interceptions. Kirk
Cousins now is officially the most mediocre quarterback in the history of the NFL.
60 wins,
60 losses,
2 ties.
How can you be more mediocre than that?
I can't.
60 wins, 60 losses, and 2 ties.
I can't imagine anything being more mediocre than that.
Tannehill? I don't know, man. But anyways, the Eagles look like they've got a really good team.
Jalen Hurts looks pretty good, too.
They got a pretty good team. Eagles are going to be scary this year. Eagles are definitely going to be the playoffs. I don't see them, not unless there's some injuries hit or something. They're definitely going to be in the playoffs. But that is all of our NFL games for week 2. Now
we have our dumpster fire.
We do have some there is some smoke. There's smoke burning in like 3 different areas, really. But we're going to talk about it. Who is our dumpster fire of the week?
Dumpster fire of the week.
Yeah. And our dumpster fire of the week is, we actually have multiple dumpster fires. We have a team.
The Colts.
The Indianapolis Colts. Oh, gosh, that's so horrible. And then we have an offensive coordinator.
Todd Downing.
And a defensive coordinator.
Joe Woods.
Joe Woods. Man, there's some bad play calling going on right now on the offensive side and the defensive side.
Yes, there is some. The Colts, we'll get to the Colts now. The Colts, like we said before,
they should be winning that division.
Now, they look like one of the worst teams in the freaking league.
And you get skunked by Jacksonville. I
know Jacksonville's had your number, but Jacksonville?
Skunked? You can't even get a field goal?
Against the Jags.
Don't the Jags have like a brand new coach too?
Yeah, they got Doug Peterson coming in his first season.
I mean, Doug Peterson is coming down from the Eagles, and he took them
to a Super Bowl.
To a Super Bowl, so he's not a bad coach, but
you have the better team.
I mean, it's not the 85 Bears there. It's the Jaguars. You lose the 0.
How putrid can your offense really be with Matt Ryan and Jonathan freaking Taylor? When you have those 2 players right there.
Pittman was out. I will give them that pass. Pittman is a fantastic wide receiver. But you still can score more than 0.
0 points? Are you that reliant on him that you got to score 0 points?
24-0.
That team is in serious jeopardy.
Serious jeopardy. And also another team in serious jeopardy is the Tennessee Titans. Man, their offensive system right now
is a disaster.
And
it's due to one of the Triforce coordinators of stinking. The Triforce of sucking coordinators. The one on top is Kellen Moore.
Yes, Kellen Moore. He's the Dallas offensive coordinator. Good gracious.
And the guy on the left corner is Todd Downing. The guy running the Titans ship.
Todd Downing. He can't
call his way out of a paper bag.
He can't, man. He can't. When you got Derrick Henry, who gets how many yards?
24 yards.
20 yards.
That's the magic of Todd Downing. He knows more than you and I about how to use a running back.
Let's put him in. Let's put a running back in shotgun and put some tight ends in end arounds. And
he did it again this week against Buffalo.
I know, it's just
he can't call a game. He can't call a game.
He can't call a game. And then on the defensive side, what kind of secondary coverage do the Browns have?
I call it the Joe Woods special.
It's the Joe Woods special. It's just, if you watch their defense, have you ever, I don't know if anybody grew up on a farm out there, but if you have like a pile of chickens.
Yes.
And you throw like a bug in the middle of them, and they all just go crazy trying to catch that bug. That's the secondary. That's how he coaches the secondary.
I mean, he coaches the secondary like they're like runaway chickens with their heads cut off.
They're chasing a bug. There's nothing.
They don't.
I mean, how wide was that one touchdown?
I mean, that was like as wide as an ocean, man.
You couldn't even see the defensive players on the TV screen.
You couldn't see him on the TV screen because
they weren't there.
Right by the guy. I mean, it is a pigsty disaster.
I don't know. And their offense was really doing so good, too.
And Joe Woods, I call him Joe Lost in the Woods because...
He is Joe Lost in the Woods because that's his defense players look like they're lost in the woods trying to find somebody out there.
Do you know what? Even when they made the playoffs in 2020, the thing that held them back was Joe Woods. Even when they were up like 38-3 against the Titans, they almost lost that game because Joe Woods' secondary was a bunch of chickens chasing the bug.
Yeah, maybe instead of getting rid of Baker Mayfield, you should have got rid of...
Joe Woods.
Just saying. All right, let's go ahead and jump on into week 3. Start off with our Thursday night game. We'll go ahead and jump back into him. Speaking of Joe Woods, we got the Steelers at the Browns Thursday.
I don't trust Joe Woods' defense, but I do like their offense.
I'd probably pick the Browns just because their offense is looking pretty good right now.
Just prepare for some Browns secondary mishaps.
It's going to be, but see, the person throwing against him is Mitchell Trubisky.
If he makes Mitchell Trubisky look
good,
then Joe Woods must be the worst defensive coordinator on earth.
Browns are favored by 4.5. Honestly, the Browns should win this one right now. T.J. Watt's out.
Yeah, he's not playing. That'll help.
And the Browns got a fantastic running team with Chubb and Hunt. Until Chubb gets hurt, Chubb and Hunt looks...
I mean, at least they got that going. That's why I think they have a shot in the playoffs.
Yeah. We got Sunday. We got the Saints at the Panthers. I'll leave that one up to you.
I think it's 3-3 because
Panthers are. I mean, the Saints are favored by 3.
I'll take the Saints with 3. I don't trust.
You don't trust the Panthers.
Ben McAdoo.
Ben McAdoo is another coordinator.
He didn't quite make the Triforce of sucking, but he's on the edge.
He's like down here. He's like the stump of the tree. We got the Texans at the Bears. The poor Bears. Poor Bears. I'll still take the Bears. The Bears should win.
The one hope this year for the Bears is to pray that Justin Fields doesn't get hurt.
Yes.
Protect him.
The Bears are favored by 3. I think they should cover that. We got the Raiders at the Titans.
Must win for both games.
The Raiders are 0-2. The Titans are 0-2. Somebody's season is over.
I've got one deciding factor for that. Todd Downing.
He can't call an offensive game.
And if he can't use Derrick Henry, White...
What do you got left over? They've already got rid of all their good players. They got Derrick Henry.
That's the management. You paid Tannehill $170 million.
To be mediocre.
And you paid Derrick Henry only $50 million.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the greatest management I've ever seen.
The Raiders are actually favored by 2 in Tennessee. I'll probably take the Raiders. Tennessee seems to be in a spiral right now. We had the Chiefs at the Colts. Oh, Lord. They may beat them by 80. If they can lose 24-0
to
Jacksonville, what are the Chiefs going to do to them?
If the Colts look as wretched as they've looked in the past 2 weeks, then there's no telling how bad Patrick Mahomes is going to beat them.
The line is 6.5. I'm taking the Chiefs minus 6.5. That may be my lock of the week. You're talking 37-13 they let them score.
Yeah, no Tyreek Hill, no problem.
Yeah, he just throws to all the other.
He's having fun in Miami now.
They picked up Juju and they pick up Scantling.
They got some more options.
The Bills at the Dolphins.
Speaking of Miami, they've been having some fun on offense.
They have been having some fun on offense, but they haven't come up against this Bills defense.
The Bills' offense and defense probably look amongst the top 5.
I think the
teams
Bills.
in the league.
I think the Bills' offense is top 3 in the league.
The defense is
top 3 too. When they brought in Von Miller,
it seemed like everything came together.
It did, man. Buffalo is only favored by 5.5. I'm going to take Buffalo.
They'll look every bit as promising as they have been.
I think they will. We have the Lions at the Vikings.
Speaking of some surprise promise, the Lions.
The Lions are 1-1. Vikings are 1-1. I'm still going to take the Vikings. I can't trust the Lions until they give me more than 1 week to trust them.
But the positive spin, they've looked a lot of very competitive.
Mm-hmm.
And even in that loss, they lost to the Eagles, but they scored 35 points.
And Kirk Cousins is going to look okay, just like he does every week. So, not fantastic. He's okay. He can throw 3 touchdowns or 3 interceptions. It don't matter.
I mean, it's like the 8 ball.
Yeah, I don't know. We got the Ravens at the Patriots. Somebody's going to be 1-2.
I don't know if I trust that Ravens defense to hold the lead. After that disastrous,
I gotta go with Baltimore. Baltimore's favored by 3. I gotta go with Baltimore.
All right.
Again, Jackson's on his contract year, and that was not his fault. They lost that game.
It's not his fault at all.
No.
I bet you they wish they had.
The Patriots do not have an offensive coordinator.
They got a bunch of random dudes sitting on the stands.
So the Ravens are going to put up 30, and I don't think the Patriots can hang with them. I don't think they can.
I mean, I wish they better. I think they wish they had Ray Lewis and Ed Reed back by now.
Yes, we got the Bengals at the Jets. Do the Bengals go 0-3?
Well, if the Bengals' offensive line gives up the sack rate that you've told me about, then maybe
111. They're on pace for 111. Is that not horrible?
That is.
I still think they beat the Jets, though.
All right.
The Jets had a fantastic come-behind win last week, but I can't see Bengals going 0-3. Can you?
Unless they
got too much
talent.
Go 0-3. Plus, I don't think there's ever been a team start out 0-3 and to make the Super Bowl. Ever.
That's
in the history of ever. The Eagles at the Commanders. Eagles. I think that'll be a 7-point plus game. The Eagles again are one of my favorites to go deeper into the playoffs. We got the Jags at the Chargers. I'm going with the Chargers too. As long as Herbert's not injured and anything.
He took in Kansas City.
Yeah, the Chargers are favored by 7. I think they should take that by 7. We got the Rams at the Cardinals. One of those two teams are going to be 1-2.
And I think the Cardinals are going to be 1-2 because I think the Rams' experience is going to help them win.
Yeah, Rams are favored by 3.5. I'll take that. Falcons at the Seahawks.
One of these teams are going to have to take a step forward.
It's a battle of mediocre birds.
Who's going to have the sharper talons? That should be the question here. It's going to be a National Geographic show.
Falcons are 0-2. They've looked okay. Seahawks are 1-1. They've looked okay. Seahawks favored by 2 at home, which means, who knows? I'll probably take the Seahawks just because they're at home. It's hard to win there against the Seahawks. We got the Pack at the Buck. How about that? Buccaneers at the Buccaneers.
What was the last time Aaron Rodgers played Tom Brady?
Tampa Bay is favored by 1.5 at home, which means the Pack has the slight advantage.
But are you going to bet against the vampire coming out of his coffin, Tom Brady? The guy that just keeps coming back and back for more?
No. I'm probably going to take Tampa Bay minus 1.5. I just don't trust Rodgers anymore. That's more than me trusting Tom. I just don't trust old man Rodgers.
I mean, he just falls asleep every postseason. It's like no one can barely wake him up come postseason time because he's took a nap.
Yeah, you got to go over with smelling sauce and oatmeal to get him out of his rocker to come play football. I don't know. And last but not least, for the Sunday games, we got the 49ers at the Broncos. I'm going to take the 49ers on that one.
Jimmy G with his veteran experience.
I am not a 49ers fan. Matter of fact, I do not like the 49ers because I'm a Cowboys fan.
You're not a fan of Denver, really.
It makes me not really. I'm not really a Denver fan either. I like Peyton Manning. Don't really care for Denver. But I sort of like Garoppolo. I'm rooting for Garoppolo a little bit. I don't know if you got that little... I'd like to see him
mentality.
just and then maybe they'll trade him this year and get rid of it. I don't know. That just makes me angry. And then Monday Night Football, we have my Cowboys at the Giants. Do the Giants go 3-0?
Dan Quinn will have something to say about that. But you do have one of the Triforce.
We have one of the Triforce sucky coaches.
Kellen Moore.
Kellen Moore, the disciple of Clappy Jason Garrett.
It's been a meme that's been dead for a little while. I
can have that much offensive talent and do nothing.
It's the Kellen Moore effect. It's the Triforce effect.
It is. I got the Jerry Jones, Kellen Moore, and his son. I'm afraid of his son too, and he's not even sitting. He's not even doing anything. He sits in there with his dad. And I don't know.
Hey, son, you want to come enjoy this game with me?
Yeah, we don't know nothing about football, but let's. I don't know. I'm gonna say the Cowboys just because I want the Cowboys to win, but it's probably going to be the Giants. I don't know. Anyways, that is it. That is our predictions for Week 3. We hope you had a little fun with us. We have fun doing this. Be sure and leave us a comment below. Tell us what you think. Share us with your friends. Sharing is caring. Hit the like button, the subscribe button, and the
groovy baby button
over there somewhere. Other than that, we'll see you for more next week.
See you next week.